This is a live interview. This is part of our ongoing series called Craic in the Bat. And we're joined by Mitch Hillert and, of course, Sean Clancy, the proprietor of Foley's New York, the founder of the Irish American Baseball Hall of Fame. And Sean, you can take it from here.
Well, thank you, John. Mitch, should I say guten Abend? Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Delighted to that you were able to do this for us. We do appreciate that. So for the people that are listening in, Mitch Hillert is he is a member of the under 18 Irish team that won the European Championships, which was pretty cool. Mitch is from New Jersey.
Oh, Brooklyn.
And what?
Brooklyn, New York.
Close enough. So Mitch, tell us first of all, you're in Germany. Where are you and what are you doing?
I'm in Regensburg, Germany, about an hour north of Munich, and I'm out here playing professional baseball and being a groundskeeper for all the fields.
Okay, so that there's two things in one there. So you're playing professional baseball, okay, and you're groundskeeper. So give us an idea what a normal day for you is right now.
For right now, I just go out, take care of the fields, make them all clean, and then do some other stuff that's maintaining baseball fields, softball fields, which is just comes natural for me because I do renovating fields back home with my brother. And then when everyone's done with work, because everyone here works, we practice at 6:30 and we practice till 8, 9 o'clock. And we get a workout in probably midday around lunchtime. That's basically the day. So it goes from 7, 8 o'clock to 8, 9 o'clock p.m.
So basically it's the correct way to describe it is it's semi-pro ball.
They consider it here now. They made it professional baseball so that it doesn't get locked down with Corona rules, so we can still play.
Very nice.
Yep.
So what's the travel like between? Now this isn't your first year in Germany, right? You've
Third year.
Third year. So let's go back pre-pandemic. You know, so what's the travel like? Are we busing it? Is this a Bull Durham on a European version?
It's pretty good. It's baseball every weekend. It's almost like soccer, football, and sports here, or football every weekend, American football every weekend. It's competitive. You got to play the 2 games that we play every weekend against the teams of different cities. And those 2 games are like a sudden death match. Like every game matters. Like you got to just go all out and you can't just play somewhat okay. Like you have these 2 games every weekend and you have to go all in. It's not like the minor leagues and the major leagues where you're playing every day, where you have a day game and you can maybe play slightly off percentage. Like you have to give your 110%, 150% all the time.
Now, how many players on your roster?
I'm thinking it's between 23 and 30.
And what's the makeup?
About between 5 to 7, 8 pitchers, and then 11.
Sorry, I meant nationality on the makeup.
Oh, sorry. It's majority Germans on this Regensburg team, and you got 1 American guy, or 2 American guys, and then you got me as Irish American.
I'm glad we met. So at least there's somebody else that you. I mean, how's your German?
Ein Deutsch.
Yeah, you can. So you can order your food by pointing at it.
No, I can say some numbers and stuff and talk polite and try to order some things, but it's a tough language to learn right now.
It's a harsh language, you know. But you know, when you swear at somebody in German, if you can't, I mean, obviously, if you can swear at someone in German, it's a lot more fun, you know. So what would you say the level of baseball is?
I'd say about probably low A baseball.
Yeah. And so okay, so you've been in the game for a while. So do you come across kids over there, guys you play against, you think, oh my God, if this guy was in the States, he could make it to the majors.
Yeah, because they don't play everyday baseball like we do in the States. We can play every game. We play double headers on the week and play 15 games in 1 week. And we only play 2, 3, maybe 4 games a week here. And like it's only 2 games for league sanctioning. So the competition level is a little different, but it's still competitive as much as they make it.
Mitch,
Do
what
you
are the
have
rules?
your games? Sorry, John.
Yeah, what are the rules for the Bundesliga with like domestic player? Like, is there like a rule that a non-German player has to or can only start like 1 game of a doubleheader or something like that?
And the non-EU players, it's I think 2 position players, and then the second game a non-EU pitcher can pitch.
Anything like what about with like the field? Like middle infield has to be or something like that? Has to be? No, there's no rules.
Yeah, it's just 2 non-EU position players, and then it's game 2.
But that doesn't affect you because obviously
Yeah.
don't you have an Irish passport, so you're European.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned the fields, and obviously you're one of the groundskeepers. So what's the level of the fields?
This field is, they had I think 2009 they had the World Baseball Classic here, qualifiers. So the field is like, I'd say a AA stadium, maybe like the Brooklyn Cyclone Stadium. It's about that.
Now just go back there for a little bit because I know that you were working for the Red Bulls at one stage as
Yes.
a groundskeeper.
Yes.
But you also have some experience with baseball with the minor leagues too, correct?
Yes.
But where were you? Where did you work?
I did the Brooklyn Cyclones in 2016, 2017. And I did the World Baseball Classic qualifier against Israel, Pakistan,
Great Britain.
Great Britain, and Brazil.
Yeah. Troy Hawkins is involved. I think Troy Hawkins is the pitching coach for Brazil.
Yeah.
I think he qualified because he's been there on vacation twice. So you are coming out of the bullpen,
Yes.
left-handed pitcher.
Yes.
So what kind of, do you get crowds for these games?
Right now, no.
Oh, obviously, but sorry, let's go back to pre-COVID. So,
But yes, before COVID, yes. The stadiums would be about between 200-300 people to a packed out stadium of 1,000, 2,000 people.
and they're into it.
Yeah. All 9 innings. They're cheering, chanting the whole entire time.
Okay, now do you have they given you like a cool German nickname? I mean, a big tall guy, redhead guy like that coming out. No, they haven't. You haven't gotten a
When I was playing indie ball for the Puerto Rico Islanders, I got the name Rojo. El Rojo.
That was it.
Yeah.
So, not something like El Gringo Rojo or something. It's like that's about as much Spanish as I know. You got half my German and Guten Abend and Guten Nacht.
Yes.
What German do you have to know to play baseball in Germany? Are there any sayings that you need to know as far as like being on the field, communicating with your team?
Off gets means like let's go.
Off gets.
But no, what about how do you communicate with the catcher?
They speak English.
Oh, so their English is pretty good.
Mhm.
And the umpires too.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we have to get you is a book of swear words in Irish so that you can say them and not get into trouble or kicked out of the game.
Yeah.
That's one way of doing it. So
We have one famous one.
yeah, there is, but most people know what that is at this stage. Although someone did tell me, I was working St. Patrick's Day here in Florida, and this little old dear, she had to be 85. She said, it's St. Patrick's Day. She said, I want to wish you happy St. Patrick's Day in Irish. I'm like, okay. She said, Pug Mahone. I was like, not exactly. Not exactly, so so Mitch, let's go back a little bit. So let's go back. So you grew up in a when did you first find out or realize that what it meant to be Irish, or that you were like Irish American?
Well, we grew up with my grandmother. She came over when she was 18, and grew up like just knowing that we were Irish the whole entire time, but we didn't know about getting citizenship through Ireland until my last year of college. And we always followed Irish traditions, or making the brown bread, soda bread, the Irish American corned beef and cabbage, mashed potatoes, like the whole nine of like the meals, the traditions that we would follow.
Where was Granny from?
Kildare.
What part?
It's near the Hill of Allen and Kildare, County Kildare.
It's not a pity you didn't find out the whole citizenship before you went to college, because I tell anybody, I mean, with how crazy college is here, it's like, you know what, if you qualify, that they have programs. Well, this is all obviously pre-pandemic. They have programs in place for, like, because you, like John and I would both be considered, like, we would be considered sons of the diaspora. And they're very anxious to bring people like us back and educate us the Irish way, and and they were almost paying for it, and even college is a whole lot cheaper in Ireland than it is here.
Yeah,
So.
we're gonna study in a master's there and living there for a few.
Yeah, you can always go back as a what they call those older later students or what have you.
Yeah.
So, what was it like to put that Irish jersey on?
It was an amazing feeling. Like, you get to represent a country where the majority of my family came from. And I get to show, prove, honor, and just give it all. Like, there's a completely different way of playing the game with your heart when you play for Ireland.
I can only just imagine. I know from many conversations I've had with many different people, when we've talked about the hopefully that soon will happen, the notion of an Irish World Baseball, and just some of them, the tears in their eyes to think that they would get that opportunity to pull that jersey with, whether it's green or white, with those letters across the front, and what it means, what it would mean to them, but what it would mean to the people before them. That's I've talked about this before. When I started the Irish American Baseball Hall of Fame, along with our friend John Mooney, it was, I won't say it was a publicity stunt, but it was an opportunity to kind of honor all the people in the game, and that's guys like yourselves, guys like John, but people that have, it's not the players, because it's more than just the players, but the one thing that kind of struck me very early on was the emotions. I mean, John, you've been on a couple of inductions. I mean, we have somebody cry every year because it's like your grandmother, it's their parents, their grandparents, the people that they wish could see this or could see them pull that jersey on, and that's kind of the dream that we live. I've had talks with many guys about, hey, how would you feel about being the first base coach or the bench coach, or how would it feel if you're the pitching coach and you go out that first time with your jersey on to make a pitching change, maybe, and bring Rojo into the game. I suppose if would it be wrong if you made it mandatory that for the Irish World Baseball Classic that they all had to come into Irish music, and not the fiddly D, but the flogging mollies or the dropkick Murphys, it would be
we'll do an Irish Rover. I'll do some Irish Rover stuff.
You do some Irish Rover.
I do it.
So right now you're has the season started?
No, it starts this Saturday.
Oh, you excited? Get started?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Full season. It's gonna be nice.
Are the games going to be streamed, or can we watch these things?
The first 2 games won't be, but the third week will be.
Cool.
It'll be against my former club that I played for.
Man,
Yeah.
big
The
rivalry.
one that I did all the research on.
Yeah.
I think I know the roster, but so it's going to be, obviously it's going to be different because no fans.
Yeah.
Now, how is COVID in Germany right now? Are you in lockdown or?
They have I don't know how to call it, I guess lockdown-ish kind of. They have a 10 p.m. curfew, and I think till April 18th, they're like, you're not allowed more than one person from a separate household or something like that.
But now, do they enforce it or?
They try, yeah.
So it's got to. Well, I mean, you've got a pretty busy day anyway, so it's not like you have. It's not like you have much time in your schedule to go socializing and,
Yeah.
sightseeing or.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not. It sounds pretty cool to say, "Hey, Mitch Hillert's in Germany playing baseball." It's pretty cool, but I mean, you're working pretty hard too, right?
Yep. Yesterday, I saw this place in Regensburg called the Valhalla, and it's like a hall of fame of all the Germans, scientists, philosophers, all those super smart, just people who innovated the world are in this place, and it's like a Greece Athens temple on the side of a hill. And it's like just a beautiful sight, and it views over the whole entire city.
Yeah. So it's not all dirt and more dirt.
Yeah.
Are you the only groundskeeper?
There's one other teammate, and then 2 other like helper guys that do like community service kind of thing. Just help
And so you just take care of your ground and the softball fields and that. So it's not like you're traveling. They don't have you traveling around, do they?
No, just at the facility.
But now the grass is different, right?
Yes, way different from the Red Bulls.
It's got to be a lot way different than the Red Bulls. And so if John and I were to take a trip over, we're going to see a very manicured infield. Not like the old infield. Like the funny thing is, I could never say it because he was a good friend, Lord rest him. But Pete Flynn, everybody loved Pete Flynn, but everybody used to complain about how bad the infield was at Shea. So I don't know if it was Pete kept it like that purposely. I mean, sometimes they did, because I mean, Pete would tell me that like that they'd want the grass longer on the lips so that the ball couldn't. That if you lay down a bunt and it dribbles up the third baseline, that it would touch the grass so high that it would go foul.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. Cut the grass certain ways so the ball moves certain ways when we are playing certain teams. That's what they used to do.
That these are tales of the ground script.
Yes, the keeping behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's funny. Someone was telling me that there's I don't know his name, so I won't mention him. I can't get in trouble. But one of these guys who's considered to be the guru of groundskeepers. That one of the teams sent them to get all their minor league fields ready for spring training, and when they got there, someone said something's not right here. And they couldn't figure it out until they took out a measuring tape. He had measured the distance from home to first wrong in every one of the fields. It was 85 instead of 90 feet.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Wow.
So
how do you match up to the other bases?
Well, that was the thing. It just he had. I don't know if the rest of them are wrong. So here's a question for you, Mr. Groundskeeper.
Yes.
So it's 90 feet from home plate to first base, and 90 feet to second, 90 feet to third. How far is it from home plate to second base?
I think 126.
127 feet, 3 and 3/5/8 inches.
Yes.
Former Hall of Famer Joe Morgan. That was his question, and it was, what? When I was bartending, and I love trivia, so trivia was great. And every now and then you get a guy who's just a complete know-it-all.
Yeah.
So I'd say, all right, genius, if you don't know so much about baseball, how far is it from home plate? And there's those conversations.
To work the sticks.
But so now, do you have plans to? Where do we stand with the Irish team? Are you still involved?
Yes, yes. We're just waiting to hear what the corona rules with the country of Slovakia. We'll see what's going on with that and what we need to do. Because Slovakia is only about a 4 or 5 hour drive from here.
Well, that's not too bad. So, you know, um, so you're there for the season goes how long?
For now to I think August is the season, and then September, maybe October is playoffs.
Oh, so you're going to be there for a while,
Yeah.
you know. So have you been vaccinated?
No.
What's it like? So there's no special, they don't consider groundskeepers to be essential workers in Germany.
I don't know.
Baseball.
I suppose, in fairness here, I mean, the players here haven't been.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of rumblings as to why. I mean, that's the only thing that would, I'm not concerned me. I mean, I don't want to get political, but it's weird that these guys are like, oh, well, we're not getting vaccinated. I'm like, well, okay, what do you know that we don't know? I mean, it's, so where are you right now? Because that's a very interesting backdrop. It looks like Jimi Hendrix and
Jimi Hendrix, a lion, and an elephant on vinyl.
we are in your apartment.
Yes.
Did they provide that?
Yes. It's like a team apartment, and it's through the team, but I'll pay for it, so it's not connected with
Like subsidized, so yeah, they just have to get it.
Yeah.
Cool. So baseball season starting. Will you get it? Will you be able to, with the time difference and stuff like that? Will you be following it? Now, are you a Yankee fan?
Met fan.
Met fan?
Yeah.
So tell me, how excited are you about Uncle Stevie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's bringing the entertainment back into sports.
So how do you feel? So do you know what happened yesterday where he's basically with this whole Francisco Lindor thing?
Yeah. Raviolis and chicken parm.
Right, but now they leaked the numbers.
Yeah, I saw that today, this morning.
Yeah.
10 years.
John, we're not quite sure about John. John used to be a Mets fan, but we believe he may be coming back to the fold.
Oh no.
Could happen, yeah.
I think now that the black jerseys, John was holding out for the black jerseys, but now they're bringing back the black jerseys. I think that's he's going to be dusting off his Mookie Wilson jersey, and his.
I was holding out for good ownership, and I'm cautiously optimistic.
They're gonna be good.
Yeah, he's tending that way.
He's ready.
Mitch, I've got a question for you about Regensburg. This is a weird one, but when I was there in 2004 to see Ireland play in the European qualifiers, I ordered something called a Regensburg salad. Have you had that? Have you seen that?
No.
So it's a bowl. I've often wondered just randomly if this is a thing that maybe they were trying it out, or maybe it's like a traditional thing, but it's an actual bowl full of salad, but the lettuce is like sliced pepperoni or sliced something. There's no lettuce, it's all meat, and then on top of that is onions. I ate it. It was good, but I was kind of shocked. I just wanted a salad, and I didn't quite get that. But I was just wondering if you've seen that, and maybe you can keep an eye out for it.
No, not yet.
Yeah, just beware. You're not getting you're not getting a chef salad with that.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite German food?
Ooh,
That's a good one.
Schnitzel and bratwurst with curry.
Bratwurst with curry.
That sounds good.
And of course, because it's in season, there's no German beers. You have to, your body's a shrine and all that stuff.
Yes.
But when the season's over, I guess. Well, of course, the season ends in Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the chances are we won't see Mitch till December.
What do they call the World Series or the championship in the Bundesliga?
I think it's like the Bundesliga Cup.
Very cool. Now, the previous team, how well did you do in the playoffs?
In 2019, we made playoffs and lost Game 5 against the game I pitched, we came out with the lead 9-3 and we lost it. And then 2020, we missed the playoffs. And now 2021, I feel confident.
Now, what's your, how do you get from city to city? Buses?
Yeah, transportation, bike.
No. I mean, to like away games.
Oh, we got vans. We have vans.
So that's,
For us.
and what's the longest trip?
I'd say about 5-6 hours.
That's a lot. That's a lot in Europe, you know.
Yeah.
You know. Well, listen, Mitch, I want to appreciate you doing this for us. You know, I mean, what we're trying to do, we're trying to introduce, different people that are involved, obviously, in baseball. And I think yours is a fun story because, I mean, here's this young guy from Brooklyn that used to be in Jersey, that's basically, doing what you love. Well, I mean, doing two things that you love, because I mean, you're pretty passionate about the groundskeeping too. I mean, it's, so I would say I'd have you come to Florida and look at my lawn, but I literally have one patch of dirt about this big that's going to be paved over very soon. So we wish you well, and we look forward to. We will hopefully be able to put some links or something up on the site so that people can keep an eye on your progress throughout the year.
Yes.
And good luck with the baseball. And again, thanks for doing this.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot, man.
Take care, buddy.
Good.
Thank you.